All right, everyone. Welcome back. This is week 2 of my podcast, healthyandwealthyandwise.com. And I'm super excited. This week was all about wealth. And each week I kick off the week with a monologue of just kind of mindset, some coaching, some tips, some personal development, ideation. And then at the end of the week, I want to bring on a special, amazing guest who's got a story, who's relatable, who is someone that I believe in, and someone that I want you to know as my viewers to create some inspiration and get some education, also empowerment through this interview. So that's our goal today. And so today I brought in Nicole Aspenson. She's with 5 Rings Financial. I'm going to let her share her story. We're going to just kind of have a back and forth conversation about wealth. And I had shared this on Monday. Wealth has a very, very broad definition in my experience. But today we are talking more about financial wealth and what that really, especially in these times, this pandemic, a lot of people are going through some financial struggles, and we want to offer up encouragement and hope today. So first things first, Nicole, I want to go ahead and just say thank you for being here today.
Thanks
for being my first wealth interview. And so I just want you to start off by sharing with the audience. I don't ever read bios or anything because I think it's really important for you in this podcast experience to share your story and your why, why you do what you do. So take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thanks again for having me here. This is great. So I grew up with a single mom. She worked full-time. She went to school full-time. I don't know if anybody is old enough to remember the term latchkey kids. We were on our own. Parents will get arrested today for how some of us grew up, right? But I was scared to death to be a single mom. I was never going to follow that path. So when I found myself in a toxic marriage with an alcoholic raising a special needs son, I was paralyzed, and I didn't think I could do that. I didn't think I could be the single mom. What I didn't realize is that I was a married single mom, carrying so much more burden and stress and destroying my health in the process. So the stress, if you don't have money, you can't have health, and vice versa, right? So just going through that and walking that path, I think helps us to grow and learn and be able to coach others in the future. It was interesting. My son was 15 before we realized or actually got the answer that he's on the autistic spectrum. So going through health first with him, going through all those challenges and out of school, I did finally find a home in 2011 where I had people to love on me and help me grow and got back to that personal development that I used to have and learned how to get off that roller coaster. And also, fortunately, I was able to manifest a really great man a second time around about 5.5 years ago. We've been married for almost 1.5 years now. Newlyweds, I guess, still.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Awesome. So how did you come to be where you're at today? Because you have overcome so much, and I love your story and how you even came to be doing what you're doing today.
Yes. I knew things needed to change as my son was getting older. So I homeschooled my son 5th through 8th grade. We went back into the school system, into a charter school that really didn't work, so brought him back home. When he graduated high school, I was like, whoo, what can I do during the daytime now to build my business? And it was an accounting and bookkeeping business at the time. I found financial services. I found safe money strategies where your money can grow when the market grows, and when the market goes this, you keep all your money up here. I went, oh my gosh, I have to add that to my business. What I didn't see was the leadership, the mentorship, the heartfelt space that everybody in the company has to just hold space for me, to love on me, let me show up however I'm at, and help that development and that growth. And that was unreal. And the leadership retreats and just the examples and the guidance and the mentors really made a huge difference. That opened my eyes to see really where I was at, that I needed an exit plan to move forward and out of that toxicity for myself and for my son.
Amazing. Amazing, amazing. And with what's going on right now, you've probably seen a lot of people maybe in similar situations, right? Freaking out about everything, and that compromises their health, which is why I don't think health and wealth are mutually exclusive. I think they always go together, because a lot of it is about a mindset. Health is a mindset. Wealth is a mindset, like I talked on Monday on my podcast, kind of kicking off the week. So can you maybe share a little bit deeper your actual why, and when you work with someone, how you come forward with compassion? Because a lot of people don't want to talk money.
Yeah, it's tough.
Right?
Especially if they think they don't have any. Yes. Absolutely. Thank you. I found this space and this model, if you will, or mentors to provide that for me. And it gave me the hope. I mean, that's what I found. I found hope. That's what I forgot to say earlier. And the hope and the love to be able to hold space for others to do that, so that nobody, women, men, I was just talking last night with my son and my husband about how sometimes men are the abused ones in the household. It's not always women. So whoever it is that feels like they're stuck in that space because they don't have money, don't know enough about money, don't know what to do, we can empower and educate them to never feel stuck in that space again. And in addition to that, I love the other side is entrepreneurs and small business owners. They're running around, running in their business, need to stop and create a plan where they can anchor their finances, create an exit plan, and have financial freedom now and in retirement. So
you'll work with anyone no matter what their financial situation? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Absolutely, yes. A lot of times we refinance your finances. You've ever heard of refinancing your mortgage? You save money, right? We do a funnel where we look at the whole budget, the whole household, all the things you have to have, insurances and mortgage or rent and your cable bill, your taxes. Where is money being misappropriated? To help people find those spaces. Now we've found money to free up to either pay off debt and or start saving for your future, for your children's college. And we help people keep more money away from Uncle Sam when they retire. I love that part. I'm so looking forward to that.
Well, and I might be throwing you a curveball here, but when people are unemployed, they're going through, a lot of trauma right now. There's people, I think about 30 million people in the U.S. have been laid off. There's people who haven't even been able to collect unemployment yet, and they're scared. And, do you talk to any of your clients I call you a money coach. I know that's not the right term.
Yeah, that's awesome. We do that.
I love that idea. And do you ever coach people on how, and maybe share your thoughts on this with the audience? Because I think it's important to even think about any specific types of people who are listening right now. Do you ever encourage them to defer car notes or mortgage notes? I've heard millionaires touting that and economists even teaching that. So have you ever done that?
It's a one-on-one case. I mean, really, at what cost? What are we going through now? Do you really need to? And it's kind of like, with the SBA loan, the PP loans and the PPP loans, things like that right now. I would encourage people really, really to think about, do you need that? If somebody else need it more, first of all, is how I feel for myself. However, you need to consider that it's a loan. It may or may not be forgiven. And so if you don't absolutely need it, maybe it's not the best thing. And I would say the same thing for deferring payments. You're deferring that payment and the interest for kicking the can down the road. So it'd really be kind of assessing everything. And we can talk in generalities when we teach classes or when we speak. Bottom line is we have to sit down face to face, Zoom to Zoom, and figure out what is best for that individual's particular household.
Awesome. And I know for our viewers, just so you guys know, I will share some of Nicole's links and contact information at the end. And I'll also post it in the comments below when we're done, both on YouTube and on Facebook. What is your favorite thing or maybe a testimonial that you have experienced with your clients. And how many years have you been working with this?
9.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I think the favorite thing about working with people is seeing the light bulbs go off. Like I mentioned, I had no hope. I had watched my mom in 2008 lose half of her retirement 2 years before she thought or had planned to retire. I saw that and went, oh my gosh, I am not signing up for that plan, and I haven't saved 2 cents. So I guess I'm just going to work every day of my life until I take that little dirt nap. And so many people think that they're never going to retire. It's not going to happen. I went to Money 101, and the hope and the education, that learning what you can do, that you don't have to be at risk, that you have, I was 40 years old thinking I was going to work forever. Well, I had 30 more years for compound interest to work for me. And if I was never going to lose money again, well, I can sign up for that plan and not be in the same shoes of people that retired in 2007 or wanted to and lost half their nest egg. Now they're working for the rest of their lives and have no exit plan. And then on the other side, one of my favorite clients and friends, we set up a tax-free college savings plan for her daughter. So the money is not trapped for college, accredited college expenses only. You can use it whenever, however you want. So if they get college scholarships, grants, if they don't want to go to college and want to open a business, the money can be used however you want. So we set up a tax-free college plan. We call them $1 million babies for her daughter. And we put living benefits in place for her. And initially, I don't think I need life insurance, because life insurance you don't have to die to use. It's the new kind. It's not the old kind where it's just death insurance. She said, if something happens to me, we have a good relationship. Her dad's a good guy, and he's a good dad, and he's going to take care of her. I said, okay, what about you? What if you couldn't go to work for 6 months or a year? What would that look like financially? She said, oh, so we have terminal, critical, and heart attack, stroke, cancer. There's 20 different triggers, long-term care event, where you can access that money now because you are living through that event that's life-threatening or major illness. Little did I know, she was super healthy. I mean, she got the best rating possible. Never, ever thought she would use it. A year and a half later, she reached out to me. I just went and got my colonoscopy, and they found cancer. I need to talk to you about that plan we put in place. She says, can we get $5,000? Because that's my co-payment for my health insurance for the surgery I'm about to have next week to figure out what's going on exactly. I said, I'm pretty sure we can do that. Go to your surgery, take care of yourself. We'll get back together, and I'll have the information to file the claim. We filed the claim. She had a $500,000 life insurance policy. They offered her $325,000 and said, how much of that would you like today? That's life-changing. She ended up opting for a part of it. And then 8 months later, we went and opted for more. And then when she had another diagnosis, we went and filed another claim. Over a 3-year period, she accessed $414,000. Never had to go back to that corporate job. Built her own Maxwell training and speaking business. She was on stage with 3,000 people they had there. She went to Germany initially. She got treatments here that her health insurance would pay for. She's from Germany. She hadn't seen her parents in 3 years. She got to go visit them. She took her daughter to Maui that year. The following year, she took a whole world run trip with her daughter through Germany again. Went back to Germany, but took her daughter. And that last 5 years, what she's had and how she's been able to spend those final years has been life-changing. Without that, she probably wouldn't even have been able to pay her mortgage and would have been going bankrupt and moving in with somebody, right?
Wow. And it's really cool. I actually know who you're talking about, and that just gives me so much gratitude, and having lost family members myself, and you just never know. You can't take for granted. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, right? So you do provide hope and a future for even those who maybe don't have as long of a future as we would have liked them to.
didn't expect you to make us cry.
No. Hey, I'm all about it. This is why this is just so if anybody's watching it right now, this is why it's live. I
Yes.
wanted to have a quote unquote live studio audience, although sometimes there's glitches and I think my internet was funky earlier. So I just want to acknowledge and apologize that. But I love real, authentic things. I've cried on podcasts before myself.
Me too.
And
So have I. It's not a first.
and that's why I wanted you on as a guest. I want real, relatable stories, real, relatable people. And I think right now more than ever, we don't need the fluff. We don't need the BS. We don't need the Pollyanna, whatever. We just need real people having real conversations to give, like you said, to give people hope.
I agree.
Because I know if I wish I would have found you or someone like you during the Great Recession when I had the whole world imploding and falling, like it felt like the sky was falling. And I see so many people right now who are even returning to unhealthy habits.
Yeah.
To go. I know someone who is had quit smoking for 14 years and now they've gone back, started up again because they lost their job and they're losing their mind. And you know, there's so much fear when it comes around money. I know I grew up with you know, it's a sin. You know, money is the root of all evil.
Right.
Don't talk about it, or you're going to HE double hockey sticks. And you know, so it was always like. But then when I got into real estate, I was like, oh, I love money. I love
money just amplifies the good in me and what I can do for everybody.
Exactly, because I could give a lot away, and then and then at the same time, what you do is so powerful. Had I lost everything in the recession, like you're working with people now, I'm excited to refer people to you because I had so much shame, so much trauma, so much fear. I made my identity about the fact that, oh my gosh, now I'm looking at filing bankruptcy. I must be a bad person.
Right.
You know,
that's why I love our Wine, Women, and Wealth programs. It's a space to create community and have a money mindset. Take those shifts. If you don't like the record that's playing, you know, master your money mindset and shift out of that stuff. And then there's some networking component to it too, but it's really about creating community and supporting each other and shifting those old money records that are playing in our heads.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I actually let's talk about that a second. I broke my own rule. I was going to share this at the end. And if you're tuning in live, we usually keep these to 30 minutes or less. Okay, so we're doing good. We're only at 18 minutes right now. But I did share your Wine, Women, and Wealth free online. I'm going to the one next Wednesday. So if anyone wants to join me, obviously it is for women. But you said you've had men show up too, right?
So Wine, Women, and Wealth is women-centric.
Okay.
The money, mommy and me, or money, mommy and daddy and me, we want parents on the same page teaching their kids about money. So that's co-ed. And then Money 101 is the nuts and bolts of things you should have learned growing up, probably didn't, or were mistaught or not taught at all. And that's co-ed for sure. What to do now, what we should have learn that and move forward.
Perfect. Yeah. And I'll comment or share it in the comments below. So if anybody can attend, I know Nicole is phenomenal at free events and opening up her heart and mind and her network. I've made some really great connections because what I teach, Nicole, part of my wealth mindset is the abundance of sharing social capital as well as ideation and ideas, because you could get $1 million idea from attending an event like this or a networking event or one of your events, and that could change your life forever. And so that's part of my definition of wealth, and I know you share in that because you're so generous with referrals, ideas, events. You know, I've been appreciative of your patience too, because I've had a couple deaths in the family, a lot going on, and you've always been there as an encourager. So I appreciate you. And I've kind of already talked about this, but I'd be curious like, what is your definition of wealth? Let's talk about that first, and then I had a couple other ideas that I'd like to talk about.
Okay. Well, I think it's multifold, right? I know it was a survey we were doing, what do certain words to me you mean, and rich was one of them. And some people thought about money, but others thought about, well, that fine leather, maybe not leather anymore, right? But the high quality, fine item that brings wealth into your soul, into your system. It doesn't always mean money. But I think really back to the kind of health and wealth together, I think people need to be wise enough to invest in their health and learn how money works so that you can put your financial household in order and not be stressed out over the money. I killed my adrenals going through that toxic household and stressing, and it was all about the environment, but so much stress over the money, like balancing the checkbook every day to make sure there's $1 or $2 in there. It's crazy to live like that. So you're undermining your health when you do that. And I thought of it, I know this isn't an exact quote, but there's a quote that talks about so many people spend their health gaining wealth, and then turn around and spend their wealth to regain their health. So we can find a better balance along the way. Your health is your most important asset. And without that, you could have all the money in the world. It means nothing if you can't be around to enjoy it, pay it forward, give to communities. What do you want to do? What legacy do you want to leave? If you kill yourself off too soon, you don't have a chance to leave that legacy.
Oh, yeah, I can relate to that, because I was pursuing the almighty dollar for a really long time, and I was just pushing the envelope. Go! Wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Go train for my Ironman triathlon. Pump myself with caffeine and sugar all day, and then network like crazy, and go to bed, and then rinse and repeat. I did that 365 days out of the year, and sure enough, when the recession happened, granted, it caused a lot of trauma and mental health confusion, I'll just call it. But my health then just was tanked. So I lost my health and my wealth at the same time and had to start all over. And it was because I was so focused on the money piece and I compromised my health. If you, as a wealth educator, if you had to give someone advice, and this is actually stuff that I coach on, is work-life balance and health and stuff, but you're the wealth educator, so I'd love to get your feedback on how you would coach someone in health and wealth. If you were to encourage them to focus on the money first, or focus on their health, or what do you think?
I think you have to find, I'm going to say balance is impossible because there's always off one direction or the other. I like the word harmony better. So I think about when people talk about work-life balance, it's work-life harmony. And you need to do the same with your health. You can be healthy without spending tons of money, right? And you can become wealthy over time. So people think that it takes a whole bunch of money to make money, right? It doesn't. It takes small amounts of money over a long period of time in the right space. And if you protect it from loss, if you protect it from taxes, you protect your health with the living benefits. If something does happen, you didn't just destroy your whole nest egg. What a beautiful thing. And you don't need to spend a ton of money to do either. You have a compound effect with your health. You have a compound effect with your wealth. So it's taking action, taking steps forward, and doing small steps at a time. Like, how do you eat an elephant, right?
One bite at a time.
And I would say get a coach in both areas, because every athlete, think of Olympic athletes and professionals, what do they all have? A coach. So if you think that they did it on their own, you're wrong. If you think you can do it on your own, that might not be the best path. Get support. If it's not a coach, get a mentor. Get some support in your corner. Surround yourself with people that are going to lift you up, encourage you, and help you to move forward.
That's awesome, because I know you have mentors and coaches in your life. So do I. I've hired 2 coaches and I have 2 mentors, and I could not be where I am today left to my own devices. So I actually wrote a book 13 years ago, and the title was No One Succeeds Alone, having been an athlete. And even when I talk to people, if I'm interviewing a coach or if someone's interviewing me to be their coach, I say, that should be the first question out of your mouth is, like, who is your coach? Who is your mentor? And I think that's why you and I connected so fast, is because you've had people pouring into you and leading you. And I have had the same. So that's another wealth wisdom nugget. It's like Warren Buffett and Robert Kiyosaki. None of them succeeded without those that have gone before them. And I wrote it. I don't normally do this either. You're giving me this. If you guys haven't read this book by Darren Hardy called The Compound Effect, you said The Compound Effect, and
that's why I love that you put that up there. And some of your mentors might be in your ear, in front of you in a book. I've got hundreds of books that don't just blast through them, study them, or go back. I've read The Compound Effect. I love that. I love Zig Ziglar. There's so many mentors that I have in addition to the hundreds that I have around the country that I listen to while I'm driving. It's my university. I go to sleep with a timer on it. I go to sleep with these books. So if you ever want a list, let's get together. I'll share my list with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I can have you come back and be next week. I'm having my wisdom interview, and I'll share with them at the end who that's going to be. Since you brought up personal development multiple times, I just shared a book that anybody can get. I wanted to share your free book, right? This is is it an ebook?
Yes, so no, it's a book. It's actually, oh my gosh, it's got augmented reality. So you put your cell phone over it. There's videos. Cornelia's story is in here that I shared with you. So you put your cell phone over the video and it starts playing the video for you. So it's a book. If you go onto my website, there's a spot in there and it says, send me a free book and I mail you a real book.
Awesome. I'm going to get that book today. So if I'm encouraging all of you, I'll post this in the comments below. Get that book. It can be part of your next step in, your wealth building journey and creation. I'm also going to share with them your virtual business card below. I know these links you can't click on these. So I will post them in the Facebook and the YouTube channel, and you guys can share this with anybody who's hurting right now. Share with anybody that is just in a financial pickle and a bind again, which is their mindset. I'm excited to have a subconscious mind coach that I'm going to interview next week, who can help reprogram your subconscious mind for ultimate success. And it goes really, really good as a kind of a segue. Nicole is passing the baton on to Jenny next week, Friday. Awesome. Same time, same line. You guys can all join in. But let's go ahead and we'll wrap it up. And I'm kind of changing the script a little bit, but I know you're smart and savvy and on the fly, because we technically kind of already answered my closing question for every single interview is, when you hear the phrase healthy and wealthy and wise, because again, I believe they all work together for the greater good. What does that mean for you, and any parting words that you want to share from your heart with our audience?
Yeah, I did answer that question with being wise to invest in your health, and people spend their health to get wealth and then turn around and reverse it and don't have either, right? So I think just do research, be educated. There's so much misinformation out there about the financial services industry, about where to be, what to do. Come to our class, read some books, check it out, interview different people. Who is speaking a language that you understand? Who's trying to talk over your head and confuse you so that they look smart and try to make you look dumb? I don't resonate with that. Who is giving you guidance, letting you come back and ask the same question 100 times if you need to, and resonating with what is congruent for you to build your future and build your foundation first. So come to Money 101 and learn about building your foundation, and you'll understand that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, just so they know, just so it's been spoken, because again, I'll post the link. When is your next Money 101?
We have like 2 or 3 a week. We have 50 mentors all over the country that do them live, and all of us that were doing them live are now online. So the fortunate thing is sometimes there's 2 or 3 Wine Women Wealth, sometimes there's also 2 or 3 Money 101s. So this link will go to a space where you can see times and dates. You text me, my number's in there, tell me which class you want, and I'll send you the link. They're all different links now, right now.
Awesome. And that's the other beautiful thing. Whenever I have a guest on here, I always ask them to share some free tools. Nicole's been very generous. You have events, you have a book, you have the opportunity to network with her network. I highly, highly, highly encourage you guys to check all of those things out. Thank you so much, Nicole, for being here today. And she and I also did a free class this week on how to leverage your time and money. So if anybody would like that recording, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, my name is Lois Kofi. I just type in my phone number there in case anybody would like to connect with me. I can make a direct connection for you and Nicole and her amazing awesomeness. And if you guys, anybody here found this supportive, helpful, please hit the share button and share it with as many people as you can. And if you want to be on future weekly editions, again, my goal is to bring you relevant content, inspiring, educating, empowering tools. Today, you knocked it out of the park, Nicole. I thank you so much for being here. And if anybody has any questions too, if you want to put them, drop them in, and Nicole will reach back out to you. But thanks again, guys. Have a healthy and wealthy and wise weekend. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye for now.